all this rain, horrid. Now, I don't know if any of you got the Times magazine yesterday, but I don't know if any of you saw this. Oh, the latest thing, naked yoga. So I'll be starting a class next week. Jackie's like, no way. No, don't even think about a damn dog. It's not worth it. But apparently that's the latest thing, naked yoga. No. So that one was one I put to one side. But on a more serious note, there was also a really nice article by the psychotherapist and grief counsellor Julia Samuel. And she's just started, or now just finished, the first series of a wonderful podcast, which I recently got into. And she was talking about strategies to cope when we feel a little bit anxious or overwhelmed. And I don't know about you, but I was always brought up to believe that interrupting was very bad manners. But apparently there's one form of interruption that can be very good for us. And she was saying that what we need when we're feeling perhaps a little bit overwhelmed or anxious or stressed is we need an interrupter. She said when we are going into a downward spiral, our system goes into hyper arousal. So we're kind of very, very hyped up, and it stays there until we do something to bring the gears down, hence the term interrupting. It doesn't really matter what. Going for a run, doing some yoga, picking flowers, talking to a friend, stroking a dog, but that interrupter drops cortisol, raises oxytocin, and enables you to connect with other people again. It helps you feel sane, or whatever sane is to you. So let's look upon our practice this morning as a glorious interrupter. If we have had a busy week, a busy morning, if we may be coming to the practice with a lot on our mind, it's a lovely interruption to help reboot all those happy hormones and help us feel sane again. Oh, wouldn't that be lovely? I think we all need a little bit of that at the moment. Let's start lying down on our backs then. So I invite you to join me lying down. If you want to add a little bit of movement there, if your neck feels a little bit tight or back feels tight, feel free to give your knees a squeeze. Maybe have a little roll across the back of the head there. If I was in smelly vision, you'd smell a lot of tiger balm emanating from me, because I've got a bit of a stiff neck today, and I've discovered a wonderful shoulder cream from Superdrug. I'll tell you all about it at the end. So when you've had a little bit of movement there, eased into any tight spots, let's bring the feet down to the floor. So we'll keep the knees bent to start with. Maybe widen your feet so your knees can knock together. And before we get moving, let's just bring the arms down alongside us, resting the palms up towards the ceiling if you can. It helps to open the chest. And energetically, it means we're open to receiving whatever this practice has to offer us this morning. Maybe picking up your head and then placing it back down after you've tucked your chin in a little bit so your neck feels nice and long. All of those little checks that we do to make sure that when we start the practice, we're in a place of comfort and ease, setting ourselves up for greatness today. So closing the eyes, I'll come up to seated just in case anyone joins us, but lying down if you've just joined us, closing your eyes. And let's take 3 nice deep breaths together. And that again can help reboot our nervous system. So when you're ready, let's take a nice deep breath in through the nose. And when you breathe out, feel free to part the lips, maybe breathe out with a little bit of sound, sighing the breath out if that feels comfortable. We'll do that twice more. So in total, 3 nice deep breaths, resetting. Each exhale an opportunity to let go of the week you've just had. One more time. Nice deep breath in through the nose. And as you breathe out this next time, feel the shoulders sink away from your ears, the back body begin to release into the mat. Then let the breath return to normal. And let's start our glorious interruption. A chance to break any patterns of negative thinking or worries or anxiety that might have been bothering you this week. Laying aside any concerns or worries you might have about the rest of the day, the week to come. Maybe some of you are venturing back to work like me tomorrow, might be feeling a little bit excited or anxious about that. So let's just lay that to one side so we can enjoy the practice unencumbered by any of that. Doing that quick scan of the body from top to toe, so we know exactly what we're working with on this Sunday morning. Noticing where you might be feeling really open and spacious in your body. And equally paying heed to any spots in the body that might feel a little bit tight this morning. Maybe you're nursing a little bit of tightness in your back, or maybe the neck still feels a little bit tight if you've had an injury or an issue there. So letting this practice be exactly what you need this morning, letting it meet you where you are. So if you're feeling lacking in energy and you need to take a rest, feel free. Lovely. So let's see these first few moves, if we can use those moves to really sink in with our breath, the foundation of any yoga practice. So with the palms turned up towards the ceiling, let's just start to wiggle the fingers a little bit. Bring some movement into the wrists as you start to slowly turn the wrists. Keep the fingers moving perhaps, and then changing direction. So just lubricating those little joints that we're going to weight bear later on as we come into our downward dog. And then when you bring your hands back down alongside you, just tucking them in a little closer, we'll turn the palms down towards the floor. So legs can stay as they are. Let's just start to sink in with the breath. So as you take your next inhale, let's float the arms all the way back above the head, widening them if need be so you can soften the front of the ribs. And when you're ready to exhale, let's come all the way back down. Hands spread nice and wide. We'll do that 4 more times. So noticing if you can get your shoulders, your arms to move in synchronicity. Sometimes one arm wants to bully the other. Lovely. So nice deep breath in, softening the rib cage, feeling the upper back staying imprinting onto the mat, so we're not arching the chest up towards the ceiling. So for some of us, perhaps the upper arms won't be by our ears. We're taking the arms out in a nice wide V instead this morning. Let's do 1 more. Reaching the arms back, and let's just pause so the arms lengthen back behind you. Take a nice breath into wherever you feel that stretch, might be in your armpits, might be in the sides of the body. Lovely, and then slowly, let's float the arms all the way back down alongside you. Okay, so let's see if we can just release any tension that might be lingering in neck and shoulders. We're just going to move 1 arm at a time. So just the right arm this time. As you inhale, float the right arm all the way up and back of the hand on the floor. And as you exhale, slide that right arm out to the side, level with your shoulder. So you're almost making half a letter T shape. Back of the hand on the floor, palm up towards the ceiling. Try and drop some weight into your upper arm there. And then very gently, just start to roll across the back of your head 3 or 4 times. Just stretching out very gently into your neck. Keep reaching those right fingertips away from you. Some of you, that shoulder blade might rest on the floor. Some of us with tighter shoulders, the shoulder might lift a little ways. So slow rocking of the head side to side. Bring the head all the way back through center. Keep the back of the hand resting on the floor if you can. And as you inhale, slide that right arm all the way back behind you. And as you exhale, let's bring that right arm all the way back down, palm to floor. Left arm this time. Inhale, reach the left arm all the way back. Exhale, take that arm out to the side, level with the shoulder, palm up towards the ceiling. And again, just lengthen that through the arm, drop some weight into the shoulder and start that gentle rocking, side to side. And you might notice as I'm doing that one side feels a little tighter than the other. Slowly, so don't pull on the neck. Lovely, head coming to center. Back of hand stays connected to the floor if you can. Inhale, reach the left arm all the way back behind you. Exhaling, bring the hands, both hands now resting on the floor alongside you. Lovely. Let's toe heel. The feet a little closer in now. So we've got the heels nestled in towards your sitting bones. Pressing into the palms of the hands. Spread into your feet. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, let's start to lift the hips into a gentle shoulder bridge. Pressing into the base of the big toe. Inhale with the hips high, and as you exhale, ripple the spine down, tuck the pelvis under as you release. Inhale back on the floor. Exhale as you push the hips gently up towards the ceiling, maybe coming up a little bit higher. Inhaling there. And exhaling, slowly release. 2 more, this time adding the arms if you wish. As you inhale, reach both arms all the way back behind you. And as you exhale, lift the hips, arms keep reaching back, lengthening from the tips of the fingers. Lovely. Inhale as you lower the arms, coming down, palms to floor. And as you exhale, wheel the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae. Lovely. 1 more. Inhaling, arms reaching back. If you don't want to add the arms, just add that lift. Exhale, lifting. Maybe your bottom is in line with the backs of the knees. As you inhale, keep the hips high. As you lower the arms all the way back down. And as you exhale, lower all the way back down. Lovely. Bottom stays on the floor. Inhale, reach the arms back. Exhale, lift the hips and pause there now. So see if you can just maybe slide your head up the mat so you can just lift up a little bit higher, squeezing the bottom. Keep the arms where they are now. Take a big breath in. And as you breathe out, slowly lower the hips. Keep the arms lengthening back. Get that lovely sense of space through the side body. And when the hips touch down, extend one leg and then the other down the mat. So we're in a full body stretch. Have a little twirl of the wrists, a circle of the ankles. You can always lift your arms off the floor a little ways. That feels good. Circling both ways. Lovely. And then slowly lower the arms back down alongside you. Bring one leg in and then the other. And then bring both knees in towards your chest, giving them a nice big squeeze. Have a rock maybe side to side after those shoulder bridges, releasing tension. And then hands resting on the knees. So the elbows are bent as you squeeze those knees in towards your chest. Feel the tailbone lift. And as you inhale, straighten the arms and push the knees away from you. Lovely. Exhale, give those knees a squeeze, bending the elbows, peeling the lower back perhaps off the floor. Inhale, push the knees away from you so you're flattening through the lower back. And this time as you exhale, bring the knees in, maybe lift up, nose coming towards knees, shoulders away from ears. Twice more. Inhale, lower the head as you push the knees away from you. Feel the lower back flatten into the mat. And then exhale, squeezing in, nose to knees. Pause there maybe, take a breath. Breathing in as you squeeze those knees. Lovely. And as you exhale, slowly lower the head, lower the shoulders, widen the knees, cross the ankles, and have a little stir round in one direction, just gently massaging through the back of the body, buttocks, lower back. Changing direction now, you can change the hook of your ankles. And deciding energetically how you want to make your way up to seated. Let's get going. So you might just want to roll to one side or hold on behind your knees. Have a little rock up and down through the spine. If your neck feels a little bit vulnerable today, then maybe just come straight up. All the way up. We'll all meet. Ooh, coming up. And we'll extend both legs out in front of you. So if you want to sit yourself up on a little block or cushion, feel free. So you can elevate your hips a little ways. Keeping the softness in the knees. Let's reach the arms up. Nice big breath in. Reach up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, gentle fold down over the legs. First forward fold of the day. So tuck the chin in. Soften the shoulders away from the ears. And just see if you can pause there for a breath or two. So no forcing ourselves down, so body still perhaps warming up. If you can cup your feet with your hands, feel free. Lovely. And then slowly, slowly walking the hands up the legs, rebuilding the spine. And just sliding your right heel back in towards you, so foot on the floor, knee hugged in towards the chest. Beautiful. So left hand or left elbow squeezes that knee in place. And we'll take a big circle with the right arm, reaching all the way up. And then bringing the right hand to the floor behind you or just resting it on your lower back, whatever feels the most comfortable. Slowly begin to turn your chest towards that right knee, taking your head with you. And then again, if you want a little extra stretch for your neck, try very gently, nodding your head. Lovely. Just a few times up and down, really slowly, keeping that sense of twist. Lovely. And then just lifting the chin if you were doing the nodding and seeing if you can twist towards that right knee a little bit more. You might even take your gaze over that back shoulder. Be easy with your neck here. Lovely. Slowly, slowly, head comes to center, chest comes to center, and we'll just bring the heel in towards the groin. So the right knee drops out to the side. You can always pop something under that right knee to pad it up if it doesn't quite touch the floor. Flexing the left foot, inhale, reaching up. And as you exhale, let's come over that left leg now. So single leg forward fold, seeing if you can angle your chest over the thigh, tucking the chin in. So the crown of the head is pointing forwards. We're not dropping the chin down. Nice long neck. Lovely. Easing your way down. And then slowly, slowly walking your way back up. We're going to lean into that right buttock so you can hook your left leg back behind you, making a little zigzag. If that doesn't work for you, you can always just take the leg out on a diagonal. But if you can, coming into that little mermaid pose, right hand on the floor, we'll sweep the left arm all the way up on the diagonal, option to stay there or look towards the right hand as you push the hips forwards. So we're coming into a little hip opener, squeezing the bottom. Lovely. Take one more inhale there. And as you exhale, lower the hips, sweep that arm in front of the face. And we'll bring left hand to left ankle or shin. So just holding onto your shin, we'll take the right arm up. Nice breath in as you reach up. And as you exhale, drop some weight into that left elbow as you come over into a side bend. So left elbow tucking in there. You can tuck your chin in and look up. You can take the gaze down. Look forwards, but get that nice sense of stretch out through the side of the body. Lovely. We'll come all the way back up. Swing the legs out in front of you, give them a little bounce, and we'll try that on the other side. So left heel sliding back in, so sitting up nice and tall. You can always take the foot further away from you if that feels more comfortable. Right hand or elbow gives that knee a squeeze. Sit up nice and tall if you've had to lean forward to use your elbow. And then big circle through that left arm this time, bringing the fingertips to the floor or wrapping the hand around your low back, whatever works. Lovely. And again, if you want that little added neck stretch, so we've got that twist through the spine, just gently nod the head up and down a couple of times. So we're keeping that twist, we're just gently easing into the neck. Lovely. And then head comes to center or level, chin level with the floor, and maybe take your gaze over that back shoulder if that works for you. Turning the gaze. Lovely. Slowly release, head comes to center, chest to center. Dropping that left knee open, so just squeeze that heel in towards your groin. Extending out through the right leg, take a nice breath in as you reach up. And try and keep that length through both sides of the waist as you come forwards and down. Some of you might be able to take hold of your feet. Some of you, the hands might just land on either side of your shin or even resting on your thigh. Again, chin tucks in, so we've ironed out any wrinkles at the back of the neck. Nice long neck. Easing your way down there. Lovely. And then slowly, slowly, hands walk back, leaning into your left side so you can hook your right leg back behind you in that little zigzag. You can always take the leg out on a diagonal if that's more comfortable. This time, left hand just tucks in behind the left hip. Let's reach the right arm all the way across the body, reaching up on the diagonal. Option to stay there or look back towards the left hand as you push the hips up. So you're coming into a little hip opener. We'll squeeze the bottom. Take one more inhale. And as you exhale, lower the hips, sweep that right arm in front of you. Right hand comes to your shin or your ankle. Inhaling, left arm lifts. Exhale, drop some weight into that elbow. So you're tucking your right elbow in towards you as you come into that little side stretch. You might like to look up. You might like to take your gaze down. So just let the head feel comfortable there. Don't strain the neck. Lovely. And then slowly, slowly we'll come all the way back up. Give the legs a little shake. And then we'll find our way onto all fours. So tucking the feet behind you, making your way into all fours, hands underneath your shoulders. Take a moment maybe to spread the fingers, check that underneath your shoulders. And then place the knees underneath the hips there. So a lovely tabletop position to start with. Lovely. So let's start with our cat-cow, and then we'll add a little lateral shift of the hips from side to side, working into the side of the body. So as you inhale, let's dip the belly, bring the chest forwards, gaze forwards, cow pose. Exhale, angry cat, drop the gaze as you round the back. Inhale, come back into your tabletop position. And as you exhale, bump the hips to the right and maybe look over your right shoulder. Inhale to center. Exhale, bump the hips to the left, look over left shoulder. Inhale to center, drop the belly, lift the chest, cow pose. Exhale, round up, angry cat, pressing into your hands. Inhaling, coming into that tabletop position, and then again, bump the hips to one side, doesn't matter which, and look towards the hips. Back to center as you inhale, other side as you exhale. Let's see if we can do that twice more. So rolling with your breath, cow pose. Halloween cat as you exhale. Try to keep your shoulders on top of your wrists. Come to that more neutral position on your next breath in. And then that lateral shift of the hips one way, looking towards them if you can. Come back to center. And then wagging your tail in the opposite direction. Lovely. Just once more. So a little coordinated movement again, sinking in with our breath. Coming forwards as you inhale, find that tabletop. And then bump the hips to the right. Come back to center. Over to the left. If you've gone the opposite way, it doesn't matter. Just make sure you do both sides. Coming back to center. Let's take an inhale. And as you exhale, glide your hips back towards your heels. Walk your arms forwards as you ease down into a child pose. Now, some of you, your bottoms might be a little bit higher there. That's fine. Some of us, a little bit more open in the hips and in the back. You might have your bottom resting on your heels. Let's extend the arms nice and long. Lovely. Take a couple of breaths and breathing into the sides of the body, all the way down. The lower back, the middle back, the upper back there. And then keep the arms out nice and long. So you've really extended out through the arms. On your next inhale, we'll rise back up to all fours, continuing to shift the weight forwards and down as you exhale. Elbows hug in, little moving sequence. Inhale, peeling the chest up into cobra. Pressing back onto all fours. Exhale, gliding hips to heels, just twice more. So again, tuning in with our breath. And this is always an alternative if you don't like a plank vinyasa. You can always drop down onto the knees and do this little alternative. So inhaling, coming forwards. Exhale, keep looking forwards as you hug those elbows in. Last time, inhale, chest comes forwards. Exhale, let's come into our child pose. Lovely. And then we'll find our way back onto all fours. So you can keep the hands slightly forwards and wider at the shoulders as we prepare for downward dog. Tucking the toes under. Take an inhale as you look forwards. And as you exhale, let's start to lift the hips up and back, downward dog. If downward dog isn't for you, then feel free to stay on all fours. Maybe do a couple of cat-cows. If you're with me in downward dog, take your dog for a little walk, padding the weight from side to side, bending one knee and then the other. Maybe a little sassy wiggle of your hips. Maybe a little twist, peeping under one armpit and then the other. Lovely. So feel free to stay in your downward dog. Stay with this, having a little shift of the weight, bending one knee then the other, come into child pose or join me for some leg lift. So bringing your big toes and ankles together, hips nice and high. Let's start with the right leg. On an inhale, right leg lifts, turning the toes slightly out. And exhale, slowly lower down. Lovely. Left side, inhale, left leg leading. Keep the weight even through the hands. Exhale as you come down. We're going to add on right leg lifts. Inhale. Come onto the ball of that underneath foot. And as you exhale, look forwards, knee to chest. Placing that right foot down and dropping the back knee. Pad it up if you need to. You can flatten the foot. You can keep the toes tucked, whatever works for you. Let's find that crescent lunge. So lifting the chest. Big breath in, sweeps the arms up. Lovely. Exhale, release. Soften down. Lovely. Twice more. Inhale. So really push away from the earth with that right foot. And then exhale, let the arms come all the way down. Lovely. This time we'll come all the way up. And as you exhale, let's take the arms out to the side and flex of the wrist, bringing the hands all the way back behind you. So interlace your hands and see if you can bring your thumbs just to rest on your lower back there. Lovely. So we'll squeeze the elbows towards one another, opening up through the chest. Option to stay there. Or lift the gaze, lift the chest. Coming that lovely stretch across the shoulders there. Beautiful. Let's slowly, slowly release. We'll bring the hands down to frame that front foot. Option to come straight back into a downward dog or pick up the back knee and take that right leg up and back, three-legged dog. Option to come into a downward dog or shift the weight forwards to plank, lowering that right foot as your shoulders come over your wrists. And as you exhale, come down onto your belly, knees might touch the earth. first. Inhale into your baby cobra. And as you exhale, come all the way back down onto your tummy. Tuck the toes, inhaling back onto all fours. And as you exhale, downward facing dog, or stay on all fours for a breath or two. Again, take your dog for a little walk, shifting the weight, bending the knees, maybe a little shake of the hips, shake of the head, keep it nice and loose. And then we'll try those leg lifts, starting with the left leg this time. So big toes and ankles together, push the hips up and back. And then when you're ready, as you inhale, left leg lifts, floating up, turning the toes out. And as you exhale, bring the big toes together. Lovely. Other side, try not to shift the weight from hand to hand. Ready for that left leg lifting. Inhale, float it up. Exhale, squeeze the knee to your chest and then land to the foot, dropping that back knee. Pad it up if you need to. You can flatten the foot, you can keep the toes tucked, whatever works for you. Ready for that little crescent lunge. So inhale, sweep the arms up. Pull the thumbs back, and as you exhale, lower the chest down. Lovely. And again, pushing the floor away with that left foot. Okay, here we go. Inhale, sweep the arms up. And as you exhale, let's flex the wrist. Take the arms all the way out to the side, interlacing them behind you. If you're super clever, you'll have the other little finger on top, so you interlace in the opposite way. I can never do it. Thumbs come to the lower back. Squeeze the shoulders together, feel that lovely opening through the chest. Option to stay there, or start to lift the chest and lift the gaze. Avoid dropping the head back. Lovely. Opening up across the chest. And then slowly, slowly we'll release. Bring the hands down. We'll pick up the back knee. Option to step straight to a down dog or three-legged dog. Left leg slides all the way up and back. Lovely. As you inhale, shift the weight forwards to plank, lowering that left foot. Exhale to lower down onto your tummy. Knees might touch down first. Inhaling into your little cobra. Exhale as you come all the way back down. Inhale onto all fours. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. And this time we'll take our dog for a walk to the top of the mat. Slowly take a nice walk up until you've got your feet behind your wrists. And when you're in that forward fold, bend your knees, drape your body over your legs. Feel free to cradle opposite elbows. Upper arms, frame your ears and have that gentle sway. If a forward fold doesn't work for you today, just bring your hands above your knees, lifting your chest, lifting your head if you can't come into a forward fold for whatever reason. Let's let the body sway. Beautiful. And then if you're with me in a forward fold, release the elbows, sliding the hands up to your shins and then above the knees. So hands are on the thighs, coming up halfway, lengthen out through the back, crown of the head points forwards, foam up through the belly. Take an inhale and exhale, bend the knees, come down into that forward fold. Keep the knees bent. As you roll your way up to stand now, dangling the arms in front of you. Lovely, rebuilding the spine. If you feel a little giddy, pause. Or inhale, sweep the arms all the way up. And as you exhale, bring the hands down to the heart. Let me just adjust that camera, lovely. And again with a knee bend. As you inhale, sweep the arms up. And exhale, bring the hands down to the heart. Lovely, one more time, deep knee bend all the way up. Beautiful, hands coming down to the heart. So we're going to pause. And I'm just going to come to the end of my mat so I can face you. Let me just drop that down for a little bit. Beautiful, so hands coming to heart. So we've done this one before. I love this one, it's such a good balance. I did it in a class the other day and I remembered how much I liked it. So we'll keep the left foot forwards. I'm going to tuck your right foot behind it. So if you can, as though you're walking on a tightrope, your big toe is touching your heel. If that's really wibbly wobbly today, then just take the feet a little further apart. But if you can, right big toe touching left heel. And just check that your weight is even between the front and the back foot. I tend to lean back, so see if you can even up through the feet. Lovely. So fixing the gaze on something that's not going to move. Here we go. Let's straighten the arms out in front of you, chest height, palms together. And then that right arm slides up the left arm, all the way across the chest, almost like you're drawing a bow back. As you open the arms out, you can always take the gaze over that back arm. Reach the arms up towards the ceiling as you turn the chest forwards. And then bring the hands all the way back down to the heart. Lovely, let's add the breath. Inhale, reach forwards. Exhale, right arm draws all the way back, opening up through the chest, wibble wobble. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, hands to heart. Lovely, twice more. So really try and keep the body nice and upright, keep the weight even. You'll feel that back foot maybe wibble wobbles as it finds its place in space. Inhale. And exhale, lovely, one more time. So reaching forward, sliding the arm across the chest, open the arms up nice and wide, lovely. Reaching skywards as you inhale. And exhale, bring the hands to the heart, lovely, pause. Beautiful, bring the hands to the hips. And we're going to step that right foot all the way out to the side now. So you're bringing your right foot to the outside of your left foot, so you're crossing it over. If that feels really wibbly wobbly, then just bring the feet hip distance apart. But if you can, we're tucking the right foot behind the left foot. Left hand stays on left hip, reaching the right arm up, take an inhale. And as you exhale, bend the front knee as you take that arm all the way overhead. Lovely. Reach the arms out, shoulder height, inhale. Exhale, come over to the other side. Left arm reaches up and over. Inhale through center. Exhale, left hand to left hip. So we're pushing the hips over to the right, bending that front knee. Lovely. Inhale through center. Exhaling, windmill that top arm, left arm all the way up and over. Lovely. One more time. Inhale, reach the arms out nice and long. Soften that front knee as you push the hips gently over to the right. Lovely. Last time. Inhale, arms nice and wide. All the way over to the left, to the right, sorry. Coming all the way back out. So let's keep the arms out level with the shoulders now. And we'll see if we can slide that right foot all the way out to the right and catch the right knee with the right hand. So see if you can pause in that little balance. Lovely. I'm just going to come to the top of my mat. Beautiful. And then bring that right knee to your chest. So both hands now. Give that right knee a little squeeze. Flex the foot. Soften the shoulders. Option to keep the hands there or reach the arms up towards the ceiling. One leg mountain pose. Flex that right foot. Take an inhale. Exhale, right leg comes back into warrior three. So as you reach the arms back along the body, lower the chest down till it's parallel with the floor. Toes of that right foot pointing towards the floor. Beautiful. And then very slowly land that right foot, spinning the heel in, toes out, and setting up for a warrior two. So arms out nice and wide. So right foot facing forwards towards the long edge of your mat. Beautiful. So left palm turns up. As you inhale, let's reach the left arm all the way up and back. And as you exhale, sweep that left arm in front of the face, forearm to thigh, as you take the right arm all the way up and over. Inhaling, right arm comes in front of the face, left arm reaches all the way up and back. Exhaling, forearm to thigh, right arm all the way up and over. Lovely, one more. So right arm in front of the face. All the way up with that left arm, inhale. And last time, exhaling, forearm to thigh. We're going to reach that right arm all the way up towards the ceiling this time. Look down. We'll bring that left hand onto your thigh as you straighten the leg, coming into triangle pose. So pushing the hips gently to the right. Left hand might stay on the thigh, or you might reach it down a little lower towards your shin. You might stay looking down towards the big toe, or roll the gaze up towards the right thumb. Lovely. Think about lengthening through both sides of the waist there. Beautiful. Let's bend the front knee. Inhaling, last time to reverse your warrior. Left arm reaches all the way up and back. And as you exhale, we're going to windmill the hands down, pivoting on the toes of that back foot, so all 10 toes face forwards in our runner's lunge. Option to stay there. Drop the back knee into a low lunge, or come with me, walk the hands forwards of that left foot. Push off the back foot and come into a standing split, lifting that right leg. Remember, you can bend both knees, the legs haven't got to be straight. Looking towards that left knee. Option for a challenge, bring your left hand behind your left shin. So just hold on to the calf there. Gonna bring both hands back down to the floor and step that right foot back so we're back into our lunge, chest lifted. Option to come straight into a forward fold or join me with a little vinyasa. As you inhale, take that left leg all the way up and back, three-legged dog. Exhale as you come forward to plank, lowering the left foot to floor. Exhale as you come all the way down onto your tummy. Inhaling into a cobra or pushing up into up dog, balancing on the palms of your hand tops of the feet. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Option to have a child pose or take 3 nice deep breaths in downward dog. Breathing in through the nose. You can sigh the breath out through the mouth if you wish. Lovely, rebalancing. And then when you're ready, rolling the gaze forwards, bending the knees, stepping one foot forwards, and then the other foot into a forward fold. Sliding the hands up to your thighs, coming into that halfway lift. Take an inhale. Exhale as you fold down over the legs. Soften the knees, sweep the arms all the way out and up. Big breath in. And as you exhale, bring the hands to your hearts. Let's try that on the other side. I just come to the other end of my mat so I can mirror you. So this time we're going to tuck your left foot right behind your right foot. So I've got my big toe touching the heel. If that doesn't work, just take your feet slightly further apart there. So left foot behind right foot. Shift the weight evenly between both feet. You're not leaning too far into the back foot or front foot. Lovely. Hands to heart, and then we extend the arms forwards. And then this time the left arm peels across the chest. Turning, 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 try and keep the hips pointing forwards. Reach both arms up towards the ceiling as you turn back to the front. And then we'll bring the hands back to the heart. Lovely, adding the breath. Inhale to reach forwards. Exhale as you peel that left arm open, turning up through the chest. Inhale, reaching towards the ceiling as you turn back towards the front of the mat. Exhale, hands to heart. Let's do that twice more. You might find that one side feels more wibbly wobbly than the other. We all tend to feel a little stronger on one side than the other. Last time. Great one to improve our balance, which unfortunately goes as we get older, but the good news is we can improve it. Beautiful, bringing the hands down to your heart and then bringing hands to hips. So this time we're going to slide that left foot and tuck it behind the right foot, just softening that right knee. If that doesn't work for you, then keep the feet hip width apart. That's absolutely fine. Lovely. So let's take the right arm up. Inhale. And as you exhale, let's come over into that lovely half moon stretch. Lovely. Inhale, arms out. Level with the shoulders. Exhale, let's come over. Beautiful. Inhale through center. Exhaling, finding that nice stretch. Lovely. Inhale through center. Oh, it's right hand to hip, isn't it? Exhale, right hand to hip, bending the front knee. Oh, I got it. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. So let's bring the arms out level with the shoulders there, lifting up nice and tall. I'll come back to face the top of the mat. And then we're going to slide that left foot out to the side and see if you can bring the knee out and up, catching it with your left hand. Standing up nice and tall. Beautiful. And then we'll bring the knee to center, holding on with both hands now. See if you can lift that knee up towards the chest, flex the foot. And then now release the arms up towards the ceiling. A little bit of leg strength. Lovely. Take an inhale. Exhale, come into your warrior three. So you might even want to tap the toes down if you don't want to balance today. If you want to balance, pop a little bend in that front knee, extend that with the arms, chest forwards. And then when you're ready, we'll take a big step back with the left foot, dropping the heel in, toes face the long edge of the mat, reach the arms out. Beautiful transition, lovely. So this time, right palm turns up. Inhale as you reach back. And as you exhale, bring that right arm in front of the face, forearm to thigh. Left arm comes all the way up and over. Lovely. Arm sweeps in front of the face. Inhale, reach up and back. Lovely. Exhale softly, forearm to thigh, top arm up and over. Lovely. One more time. Big breath in, reaching up and back. Keep strong in the legs. And this time as you exhale, we'll bring forearm to thigh and reach that left arm up towards the ceiling. Looking down, we'll bring right hand to right thigh and we'll start to straighten the legs. So we're pushing the hips towards the back of the mat. Option to bring that right hand lower down the leg. An option to tuck the chin in and look up towards your thumb. Just lean your upper body back a little ways and lengthen that through both sides of the waist. Beautiful. Going to bend that front knee. As you inhale, reverse your warrior. Right arm reaches all the way up and back one last time. And as you exhale, we're going to bring both hands down. Little pivot on that back knee, so all 10 toes face forwards. Drop the hips, take the chest forwards. Option to lower the knee, stay in a lunge. Or back knee is lifted, walk your hands forwards and push off the back foot so we come into a standing split balanced on the right leg. So you're looking towards the right knee. Remember, you can bend both knees. And you might bring your right hand to the back of your right leg, holding on around the calf. Woo! Both hands finding the floor. We'll bring that left foot back into our lunge. So foot comes down, chest comes forwards. Option to take a down dog or a child pose, or come with me with that little flow. So right leg up and back, three-legged dog. Inhale. Exhale, shift the weight forwards to plank, lowering the foot as the shoulders come over the wrists. Exhale as you lower down onto your tummy. Inhaling into your cobra or pushing up into upward dog. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward dog. If you want to take a child pose, feel free. Or stay here, 3 deep breaths. So if you want to rest in child pose or all fours, feel free. Or use down dog as your resting pose. Again, let the practice meet you where you need to be met today. Beautiful. And when you've taken your 3 breaths, if you're in child pose, join us in downward dog. We'll bend the knees, look forwards, and see if you can lead with the other leg at this time as you step the feet forwards into a forward fold. Inhale as you slide the hands up to your shins or your thighs, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Bend the knees, arms sweep out to up. Big breath in, rise to stand. Beautiful. Exhaling, hands to hearts. Lovely. So bringing the feet hip width apart. Beautiful. You're going to take the arms out nice and wide again. Level with the shoulders. And then this time, right arm wraps underneath left arm, coming into our eagle arm. So feel free just to bring your hands onto your shoulders there or wrap at the wrists. Lovely. We'll take an inhale. And as you exhale, see if you can sink down into your chair pose. So elbows away from chest, fingertips sliding up towards the ceiling. Option to stay there or shift the weight into your left foot and cross right foot over left. So you're crossing above the knee, seeing if you can swing your hips back to center. I'm going to keep the toes of my right foot on the floor. Some of you might want to wrap the foot behind it. Depends on how comfortable you are in your ankles. Let's take an inhale as you lift the elbows. And as you exhale, elbows drop down towards the chest, towards the navel. See if you can drop your fingers towards the floor. Beautiful, chin tucks in. Lovely. So lifting the chest, take the arms forwards, release the arms out, level with the shoulders, and we'll straighten the left leg and see again if you can bring that right knee out to the right. Beautiful, and a little bit of leg strength. Can you keep the knee where it is as you release the arms out? Oh, beautiful. And then hands coming to heart as you bring that right foot into your tree pose. So some of you might want to bring the foot to the floor. You might want to rest the sole of the foot against your shin or tucking it in to your inner thigh, wibble wobble. So stand up nice and tall out of that left leg. Try not to push the hips to the left. Beautiful. Just one circle with the arms. Inhale takes them up. Exhale as you bring them all the way back down to your heart. Beautiful. Knee pointing forwards. We'll bring the foot down to the floor. Have a little pad out through the feet. We'll shake of the arms, shimmy of the shoulders if you need to. And then we'll try that on the other side. So arms coming out nice and wide. So this time it's left arm under right arm. So again, tight shoulders, just bring your fingertips, your hands onto your shoulders. If you can, we come into that double wrap. So elbows lifting away from your chest. Take an inhale, exhale, hips sink back, chest stays lifted as you find that eagle. Lovely. Option to stay there, or shift the weight into your right foot so you can cross your left leg. You're crossing above the knee, bringing the ball of the foot, the toes to the floor, and sinking the hips down. So make sure you've not pushed the hips over to the side, just bring the hips back to center. You can wrap the foot behind. That doesn't work for my ankle today. Let's take an inhale, and as you exhale, bring the elbows down, dropping the little finger edge of your hand forwards, chin tucked in. Beautiful. So we'll lift the arms back up, taking them out level with the shoulders. We'll straighten that right leg and see if you can bring that left leg out to the side, catching it with your left hand. Standing up nice and tall. A little bit of leg strength. Can you let go of the knee, but keep it there? And then hands to heart as you find your way into your tree pose. You might need to reach down and bring that foot in to your inner thigh, and then bring the hands back to the heart. Push off that underneath foot. Beautiful. Take your time. You can always bring your foot down a little lower. Lovely. Let's take one nice deep breath in, reaching the arms up. And then exhale, circle the hands. If that knocks you off balance, feel free to keep the hands together at the heart. Beautiful. We'll point the knee forwards and bring the foot to the floor. Have a little pad out through the feet. Beautiful. So bending the knees. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way out and up. And as you exhale, come all the way down into that forward fold. Lifting up halfway, hands where feel comfortable, floor, shins or thighs. And as you exhale, step back into plank. Beautiful. Shifting the weight forwards, look forwards, and lowering down onto your tummy so your knees might come down first. That's absolutely fine. So just pick up one leg and reach it back, and then do the same with the other. And then we'll spine sphinx pose. So propping yourself up on your elbows, checking your elbows are underneath your shoulders and your forearms are parallel. You're not splaying your hands out on the diagonal there. Take a little wobble through the hips, try and relax your buttocks as you lengthen the toes back behind you, lifting your chin so it's parallel to the floor, not throwing the head back. Lovely. So we're going to look over your right shoulder, and as you look to the right, flex that right foot and bring the heel in towards your bottom, so we're getting a little quad stretch. And then head comes to center as you lower the right foot. Other side, heel coming in as you look over the left shoulder. Beautiful. One more with the breath. Inhaling, right heel to bottom. Look over right shoulder. Exhale as you lower. Other side. Lovely. Coming back to your Sphinx pose. Seeing if you can just bring your belly button up towards your spine a little ways. So if I exaggerate it, you're kind of almost trying to hollow out through your belly. So you're filling out your back waist there, supporting the back. Beautiful. And then slowly, slowly, making a little pillow for your head. Lower yourself down. Now we're going to come into a little quad stretch. So again, flexing your right foot, bring the heel in towards your bottom. You might want to stay there or reach the right arm back. See if you can take hold around your foot or your ankle, maybe even hooking the back of your trousers, and draw that heel in towards your bottom. So my legs aren't together, and there's a little distance between them. So those of you who want a little bit more, if you want to feel a deeper stretch, try pressing the front of the hips in towards the floor and squeezing your bottom a little bit. Those of you who want less, again, you can just flex your foot and bring your heel in to wherever feels comfortable. Just make sure your knees are parallel. Lovely. Take a couple of breaths there, just opening up through the front of the hips. And then slowly, slowly releasing the leg. And we'll try the other side. So as you bring the opposite heel in, you might just want to flex the foot Or you might reach back with your left hand. See if you can take hold around the front of your shin, your ankle, or hooking your trousers. And we'll draw that heel in towards your bottom. And again, if you want a little bit more, try pressing your hips down as you squeeze the bottom. And stretch out through the front of the hip. Lovely. And then letting go of that leg. We'll bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Push yourself back up onto all fours. Take your knees a little wider apart. Let your big toes touch. And ease your way back into a nice wide-kneed child pose. So if your forehead doesn't quite touch the floor, you can stack your fists one on top of the other. You can rest the hands so the elbows are nice and wide. Just let the chest melt down, easing your way into that little stretch there. Beautiful. And then slowly, slowly lifting the chest. We'll bring the knees together and just drop your bottom to one side so you can swish both legs out in front of you. A little softness in the knees. Let's come back to that forward fold where we began. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, coming down over those legs. So the legs might be a little straighter this time. You might come down a little deeper. Close the eyes. Lovely. And slowly, slowly we'll walk our way back. And this time we'll bring that right knee back in. Lovely. So gathering the knee to your chest with your hand or your elbow, right arm circles forwards and up. Inhale. Exhale into that twist. So again, turning the chest. You might again add that little nod of the head up and down very gently. And then bring the head to stillness and see if you can turn a little deeper into that twist. And again, sometimes when we top and tail the class, these same sorts of poses, you might feel a little difference. Lovely, slowly coming back to center. So we'll let the right knee drop open. And then straight away, we'll hook your left leg back behind you. So we're in that little mermaid pose again. Option to keep the left leg out in the diagonal and keep your bottom on the floor. Right hand comes down. Let's sweep that left arm in front of the face, pushing the hips up if you wish, keeping the gaze towards your back hand. Option to stay there, so this is working on the hips. If you want to come into a little back bend, start to drop that left arm back behind you, lifting your chest and your gaze up towards the ceiling. So the left arm is kind of dropping back behind you. Keep the chin tucked in ever so slightly. Lovely. And then slowly bring your gaze back towards that right hand, reaching the arm across on the diagonal where we started. Slowly, slowly lower the hips, sweep the arm in front of the face. Left hand to left shin. Inhale, right arm lifts. Exhale, tuck that left elbow in as we come back into that little mermaid stretch. Lovely. And then slowly, slowly release. Give the legs a little shake. And then left heel slides in, foot to floor. Using right hand or elbow, give that knee a squeeze. And then left arm lifts. Inhale. Turning the chest. Exhale. Fingertips finding the floor or wrap the hand behind you, whatever works for you. And again, you might just want to nod the head a couple of times. And then see if you can just maybe turn your gaze over that back shoulder, only if that works for your neck. Be really careful. Lovely. Slowly, slowly to center. Let that left knee drop open. And then we'll hook right leg back behind you, making that little zigzag, or take that right leg out in the diagonal, keep your bottom on the floor. Left hand to the floor behind you. Look towards that left hand as you reach the right arm across the body, pushing the hips forwards. Beautiful. Now you can stay there or come into this little back bend. So you start to turn your chest, your gaze up towards the ceiling and allow that right arm just to drop back behind you. Lovely. And then take the gaze towards that bottom hand as you reach that right arm on the diagonal. Slowly, slowly lower the hips. Sweep the arm in front of the body. Right hand to right shin. Left arm lifts. Inhale. Exhale, bend the elbows. You reach that left arm overhead. Beautiful. Come all the way back through center. Extend the legs out. Give them a little shake. And then easing your way down onto your back, bringing your knees with you, giving them a squeeze, and have a little massage out through the lower back. Lovely, gentle rock side to side. And then bringing the feet to the floor, wide, mat width, if you can. Feet wide, arms out level with the shoulders, or if the shoulders feel nice and open and spacious, you can bring the arms above the head, resting one hand on top of the other. Little wide leg twist to finish. We'll take an inhale. And as you exhale, have a little roll across the back of your heels as you tip the knees to the right. And take your gaze over to the left, chin tucking in. Lovely. Inhale through center. Exhale as you take that to the opposite side. So just roll with the breath now. So I'm rolling across the back of my heels. Rolling across the back of my head. Slowly, slowly, so no rush. Inhaling, bringing the knees to center, and exhale, take a little tick-tock. So evening things out, doing one more over to your right side with the knees. And then last time over to the left side. And coming all the way back through center. And you can either just rest your knees together as you lower your arms down alongside you, or stretch the legs out. If you need to do anything else, if you need to pop off, thank you for coming. If you want to have a full body stretch before you settle yourself into a nice, comfortable position where you can take just a couple more minutes of interruption from the rest of your day. So if you're staying with me, find a nice comfortable position, lying down, feet on the floor, knees bent or legs extended, whatever works for you. Close the eyes, and just as we did at the beginning, let's take those 3 nice, deep, grounding and settling breaths together. Breathing in through the nose. And again, you might even want to sigh the breath out. Each exhale, just releasing any tension, allowing the body to settle into that comfortable position you've chosen. 3 nice breaths. And when you've taken that 3rd nice, slow breath, just allow the breath to settle into a natural and steady rhythm. One of the other things that Julia Samuel said in her article about managing ourselves and our emotional health was that mind-body connection. And she says that as little as a 10-minute exercise routine can act as almost like a circuit breaker, bringing your system down, and it helps us to regulate and reconnecting with our breathing, reconnecting with our bodies. So congratulating yourself on having interrupted your day. Done more than your 10 minutes, so hopefully feeling a little bit more in tune with how you're feeling today. And learning to acknowledge and accept how we feel on any given day, any given time, is so important. Learning to sit sometimes with uncomfortable sensations, uncomfortable feelings. Knowing that change is the only certainty, and that tomorrow is a new day, and that we might feel very different. So As you allow the body just a few minutes now, almost to rest and digest and process the effects and impacts of having moved and breathed and stretched. Allowing the body a moment to process all of that. Using each exhale as an opportunity to release any residual pockets of tension or stress you might be noticing around the body. Maybe as you've done your practice, you've become aware of those pockets. And we all carry them, we all have them. Each exhale is a chance to just bring a little bit more space and release. And trying to keep now that sense of connection that you have re-established with your body, with your breathing, maybe even if it's only for 5 minutes after the class, but hopefully it will be longer. And knowing that you can come back to that again just by doing 5 or 10 minutes of gentle stretching, or again, an interruption of your choice. Reconnect. So very gently, let's start to roll across the back of the head, gently taking the head from side to side. We'll stretch into the neck. Beautiful, and then bringing the head to stillness. Go ahead and find a lovely full body stretch if that's what you need today, reaching with both arms back, extending the legs. You might even want to take a couple of breaths there, breathing into all of that lovely space and stretch that you've created today. Before you bring the arms back down, walking the feet back in towards you, and then bringing your knees in towards your chest. You might want to just sit in stillness just for a breath or two, hugging the knees in. It's quite comforting, or feel free to add that little rock or roll side to side. And then when you're ready, rolling completely onto one side, right or left, it really doesn't matter. And then take your time to come and join me in a comfortable seated position. Lovely, sitting up nice and tall, ready to face the rest of the day. We'll bring the hands together in our Jali Mudra, so thumbs just resting at your breastbone. Let the elbows drop down, let the chin drop down towards your chest. A little bit of stretch in the back of the neck. Lovely. And then let's take one nice deep breath in together, raising the arms up above the head, lifting the chin. Reaching up nice and tall, and as you exhale and draw the hands down to your heart once more, just humbling, chin down towards chest. Just in acknowledgement of everyone else who's interrupted their day to join us in our practice. And sending them a namaste and a rest of the day, hopefully a pleasant and uneventful one for all of us. Thank you for coming. So we'll do that naked on Wednesday, shall we?